Should we do a Sailor Moon video? I'm like, I don't know. Sure, you know.
I think the answer is yes.
Yeah. That's usually the case. So, and then we have Reggie Williams here. And so I met Reggie when he was working at this little hole in the wall, and I'm talking a hole in a wall. I had to drive past it 3 times to find it, called D-Pad in Burien.
And it's like if there's 2 people in there and the store was full, like it's like.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I thought it might be a scam because it was on Craigslist. I'm like, are they just gonna like take my wallet, tip me upside down, and shake out the money? I have no idea, right? But going in there though, Reggie was one of the coolest and nicest guys and most knowledgeable dudes, and so I was really happy to have him help me with my channel.
Started sharing knowledge on like a bunch of Saturn games.
Yeah.
I remember that were really rare at the time, so that was cool.
So tell people like what are some things that you like to collect?
Well, I'm a big Sony PlayStation guy. PlayStation 1 is my favorite system of all time, and you know it was pretty much easy to collect for at the time, because I was buying games like when they first came out and stuff. But around like maybe 2011, I started looking into other games like systems like Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Sega Genesis. It's right around the time when that, I don't know if you guys remember this, but on the news when they they announced that someone sold a stadium event for $5,000, and you know people went crazy and they started turning over their attics and stuff. So around that time is when it got kind of hot. So that's when I started hunting games. So. And
working in a retro gaming store doesn't hurt because people are bringing it to you, so which is kind of cool.
Yeah, that was the best part.
All right, and then last but certainly not least is the immortal John Hancock. So I met John at one of the first Seattle retro gaming expos. He had a corner booth and he was selling his DVDs that he made, basically covering his collection. John, at the time, you had 10,000 games.
Oh, not at the time. I currently have.
Oh, okay.
Approximately, but.
Oh.
Yeah.
A lot.
I've counted a lot.
A lot, but and then he was such a cool guy, you know, just such a warm, knowledgeable dude, willing to share all his basically everything he knows about systems. So you invited us down to Longview and hang out and visit your room of doom, which was awesome. He has an entire garage basically converted over into a game room.
And expanding it.
Yeah. So John, I'm going to ask you, you know, what do you specialize in? What do you kind of go for when collecting?
I don't know. I used to specialize in things, and I've completed now 24 U.S. collections. So I do complete sets. I do one day want to have a museum. I'm collecting to further promote education. I teach at Portland Community College. And so the short answer is I like to collect anything that's interesting, and I don't really try to pigeonhole myself into being either a Nintendo collector or a Sega collector, because my collection encompasses quite a bit. I would pretty safe to say I don't collect arcade stand-ups because I don't have the space. I do have a lot of vintage computers, but I specifically probably stick to handhelds and consoles from 72 all the way up to current, and so if I was to specialize.
But you really consider yourself like a Sega guy, right?
I know my Sega pretty good.
Yeah.
So, but I collect Nintendo just as much. You know, I'm less than 100 boxes away from a CIB Nintendo US set.
Yeah.
And so I found 7 boxes a day, affordably, and so I'm very excited about that.
Which brings up another point, is that when you start hearing about